Hey, good morning, kings and queens, and welcome to another week. I hope you had a wonderful and amazing weekend. It was a fun one for us. We finally got everything ready to get going on the trip tomorrow morning. Can't wait to take you guys on that trip. If you've been watching our vlogs, check them out. We've got done with our first week, and I got to say, me and Colleen had a lot of fun, if you couldn't tell, with some of these. So, especially today's. If you have a chance to check out today's, Colleen is a goofball. But today I just wanted to say, how easy it is for people to make excuses. Excuses is the easy part. Excuses is the part where all you have to do is think of something. Like, think of how many times when you were in high school and you didn't get homework done. And it was so easy to just make up an excuse to tell the teacher that, oh, well, I didn't get it done, the dog ate it. Any excuse that we used to use. I used to use excuses in high school. But when you get older, excuses are the easy part. Like, just over the weekend, if you saw the vlog, I was late for my aunt's party. Colleen and I both fell asleep. It happens. We didn't make an excuse that, well, we were tired. We took responsibility and said, sorry, we fell asleep. Our bad. We're late. Being able to take responsibility for something is the hard part, because a lot of people are worried about the consequences. But once you begin to take responsibility, that's when you can actually start growing and you can actually learn from that experience. Because if you make an excuse, you're telling yourself that the action that happened is okay. I'll use an example when it comes to poker. You may played a hand the wrong way, but you tell yourself that the other player played their hand the wrong way, so then you make your action feel okay. Even though if you looked at it in a realistic way, you'd realize that if you didn't take the wrong action, the other player wouldn't have taken a wrong action, and you wouldn't have got felted or lost all your money. Same thing when it comes to business or your job. If you take the responsibility for a task, or if you take the responsibility for a role, and then you realize that it's more than you took, bought off, more than you wanted to do, you can't make an excuse to say, hey, good morning, Eric. How you doing, buddy? Hope you had a great weekend, my friend. But you can't make an excuse to say, oh, well, it's more than I thought. I don't have time. If you took responsibility for it and wanted to do that job, then go out and do it. Get it done, no matter what. So when you take responsibility for a duty or anything like that, it's on you. But when it comes to business or your job, if you say, if something happens and you did something wrong, and it's easier for a lot of people just to say, oh, well, that the customer, they didn't tell me what they wanted, so I ended up doing the wrong thing. Or a client didn't give me all the paperwork and I didn't double check it to make sure that it was all there. We filed, and we filed the tax return without it, using a tax example. If you're a professional, then it's on you to kind of do all that stuff. It's your responsibility as that employee to work all the way through the situation. Now, without knowing everybody who watches situations, everything's going to be different. But the bottom line of the message is that don't make excuses. Excuses are the easy part. When you make an excuse, you basically tell yourself that the action that you performed for that excuse is okay, and it becomes a norm for you. However, when you take responsibility for an action, then that action now can be learned from. You can actually realize that you did something wrong in that situation, and then can learn from it and change and make yourself a little bit better. So that's all I had for this morning. It's pretty simple. I will be on the drive in tomorrow's morning with King Dave, because we will be on our way. We're leaving tomorrow at 6 a.m. But guys, thank you so much. And the question of the day is, when somebody gives you an excuse for an action that they did, instead of taking responsibility for it and they make an excuse. How do you feel? Good morning, Chris. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Hope you're going to have a great week. I know both of you and Eric are going to have a great week. Everybody who watches this is going to have a great week. But guys, thank you so much for watching. So, question of the day, how do you feel when somebody makes an excuse to you instead of taking responsibility? And when they make an excuse, they're placing blame on somebody else instead of taking responsibility when it was their fault. But guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Check out the vlog that I'm going to be putting up probably in about half hour, depending on how long it takes to upload. And you guys are awesome. What can I say? Thank you guys so much for watching. Have an amazing week. And remember, be memorable and live memorably. Have a good night.